Just pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Warden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live shows 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free here. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Again, online shopping, definitely the way to go when it comes to you don't have to waste your time waiting in a bunch of lines and stuff like that. In real life, you can go to blinkprotect.com/FTL to get your Blink home security system. You can get 3 Blink cams for what some of the other guys charge for 1 camera. Go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. Super easy to set up. You just need your Wi-Fi enabled device like your smartphone or tablet, and very, very simple and all battery operated with the exception of a little hub thing, which is the only thing that has a wire on it. Very easy to get set up. Even Mark, one of our regular co-hosts, was done in about 10 minutes. Blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. We're talking about the Black Friday fights, which this year appear to be muted. They appear to be down from previous years, which is definitely good news. But to act as though there's some sort of risk going out and shopping on Black Friday, that you're going to, risk death in order to get a discount.
Technically, you risk death whenever you leave your house because somebody always winds up getting hit by... Sarah in Albuquerque always calls in to remind us of people getting run over by cars.
But you're risking death even at your house. So, yes, it is. You're always taking risks.
You're risking death by waking up.
Correct.
Life is a risk.
Yeah, correct. And then, Darryl, you took personal offense to the idea that I tried to compare Black Friday fights to one of your favorite sports, which is professional wrestling.
Yes.
Maybe I should have compared it to professional boxing, which, from what I can tell, there are some allegations that some boxing matches get thrown, but those seem to be not so simulated violence, right? Like, those are generally pretty legit, like men punching each other in the head.
Right.
Correct? And yet that fills stadiums full of people who are willing to pay, however many, 60, 70, I don't know, $100. I don't know what these tickets cost to these things.
$100 would be a really good seat at a match involving 2 guys you've never heard of.
Oh, really?
Would probably not get you in the door for, say, the Conor McGregor-Floyd Mayweather fight. There is... One of the professional wrestlers that I can't stand made sure that he posted on Twitter he spent $10,000 for a front row seat.
Wow. So the Daily Dot says it's time to stop gawking at Black Friday brawls. It says here that this extremely privileged opinion of Black Friday could not be more wrong. The 4-day shopping spree, with stores opening up just hours after Thanksgiving dinner and extending through the weekend and into Cyber Monday, completely embodies American values, from our celebration of capitalism down to the fact that people who are well off enough financially can stick up their noses at those who aren't.
I would say that it embodies consumerism.
For sure.
Which is, just buying stuff for the sake of buying
Having stuff.
Who cares?
Well, obviously this person has a political agenda that's writing this piece here. They say, not to mention, we may choose to believe Thanksgiving is rooted in giving thanks, but that is a revisionist history of the holiday's gruesome origin. Now, I'm not sure what they're linking to here. I'm going to find out what they call revisionist history here in a few moments. But let's move on. Isolated, this snooty, pretentious opinion of Black Friday shopping is best and worst exemplified by viral videos of Black Friday fights, resulting in everything from heated emotions to injury and death. Which is why this year we aren't sharing viral videos of Black Friday fights. We won't be gawking at photos of people lining up for a store's opening, nor calling a violent encounter hilarious, and neither should you. To be clear, this advice is most definitely hypocritical. The Daily Dot has published posts making fun of, quote, horrifying and hilarious scenes from Black Friday, unquote, before. But the stance is genuine nonetheless. From a privileged position, it's extremely easy to watch a viral video of a holiday shopping fight, laugh, and then share the video yourself. You're unaffected by this video, and it feels good to assure yourself that you and the people in these videos are not alike. Now, there's more, but I want to stop there and talk about the idea that the only people who would share these videos are privileged.
No. I want to present you Exhibit A, bum fights, and Exhibit B, World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, World Stars are probably a much more current example. Bum Fights may go back beyond some of our listeners' memories, but Bum Fights was a video, like DVD or VHS or something, more than a decade ago, because I remember we talked about it in the earliest days of doing this show, back when we started in like 2002, that range. Bum Fights was where they actually hired homeless men, drug addicts, alcohol, winos, to fight one another because, well, these men will do anything for $10, basically. And then they would video record those bum fights, and then they proceeded to sell the videos online. But nowadays you've got World Star, which is kind of this brand of street violence videos. I mean, what exactly is World Star? Does it do anything else? I've never even looked further to say, is this a record label? I mean, what exactly is World Star?
I don't know, other than,
isn't it World Star Hip Hop?
World Star Hip Hop. So
it's got to be like a record label that's using violent videos.
Doing a very quick search here. Google says World Star Hip Hop is a content aggregation video blog founded in 2005. The site averages about 500,000 unique visits a day.
Wow.
The 342nd most traffic site in the United States.
And I wonder, is it all just street violence? People fighting on a subway, people fighting, in a store or whatever?
That's what I'm aware of is, just like, basically it's bum fights minus the money.
Right. Yeah. Just things that people caught in real life, just shocking, examples of violence and stupidity. And the fact is, there's all kinds of people who share those videos. People from all economic strata, not just so-called privileged people, as this person suggests. I mean, anybody who, look at the breakdown of fans of whatever sport we're talking about that involve violence. You're going to find people across a spectrum. Whether they can afford the front row seats or not is another question.
Right. And Wikipedia says that World Star Hip Hop features videos of fights caught on video, music videos, and assorted content targeting a young audience. Somebody refers to it as, quote, unquote, CNN of the ghetto. Their words, not mine.
Back to the story here from the Daily Dot. But this privilege, they claim, is what reveals the core issue of those gross videos being circulated for the consumption of hundreds of thousands of hungry eyes. They're classist, voyeuristic, and self-serving. When we watch people fighting for and getting injured over TVs or gaming consoles, we're not passive bystanders watching a group of mad, mindless people. We instead act as aristocracy, demanding to be entertained by people who are only trying to provide their families with gifts that, without these Black Friday through Cyber Monday discounts, they might not be able to provide otherwise. So, again, this person truly, whoever's writing this article here is... Let's see here, Samantha Grasso. She truly believes that the only people who participate in Black Friday are the poorest of the poor. Now, there may be, some, if you were to take a cross-section of who goes to Walmart or Target or whatever on these particular days and get their economic data about who they are and, what they do for a living and their demographics and all that, how much money they make, you may find that the super upper crust aren't generally participating.
They've got people to do that for them.
Yeah, right. So,
Bill Gates doesn't go buy groceries. He has people that do that for him.
So you may find that to be the case, but you're going to find people in middle class and probably upper middle class and lower middle class and poor and most of the economic strata are going to be going to these things.
And the poor aren't going to be buying, well, I saw like a 70-inch TV for close to $1,000 inside Target.
Okay.
A poor person isn't buying that because a poor person doesn't have more than $400 to scrap together. Well, that's not me being an a-hole.
No.
That's me citing statistics.
Yeah, but you're also not really understanding what makes some poor people poor is they have terrible financial habits, so they'll put it on a credit card and then make the minimum payment for the next 20 years on that TV. More coming up. Free Talk Live.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, Black Friday edition of the show. We'll take your calls about whatever you want to discuss. You can just dial on in toll free to join us here at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
More about Black Friday on the way. Somebody over at the Daily Dot says it's time to stop gawking at viral Black Friday brawls. But are the reasons they're citing the reasons why it's time to stop looking? They might get into a better argument here in moments. We'll share that with you coming up. But you can also share your thoughts with us online on the Free Talk Live forum, where we've had dozens of people sign up within the last couple of weeks. And, well, that's because we've been bribing them with $2 of Bitcoin Cash.
But not everybody that joined has joined only to get your bribe.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how many people will continue to post after having received the $2 in free Bitcoin Cash. There's about 20 or so more positions. So Roger Veer and I were offering $2 total in Bitcoin Cash, $1 from Roger, $1 from my side. And there were over 75 people who've already collected that. We offered 100 of them, so there's just over 20 remaining, I think, at this point. So if you want to, if you've been thinking about getting some Bitcoin Cash, this is the easiest way to do it. You just go to forum.freetalklive.com. You can get registered there. You have to post an introduction post, which is pretty easy to do, and then we'll approve you. And then you can post to the Bitcoin thread, the Bitcoin Cash thread, post your wallet address, your Bitcoin Cash wallet ID, and then when I get around to it, I will do a bunch of them in a batch and send it over your way. So head over to forum.freetalklive.com. And there are other forums there. There's like the New Hampshire Libertarians Forum and Cop Block, and there's some other things, including the New Hampshire cryptocurrency forums as well. So
and several of the podcasters that are members of the forum have sub-forums as well.
That's true. So head on over to forum.freetalklive.com. All right, so the argument here so far from the Daily Dot and their author Samantha Grasso, they're claiming they're no longer going to do as they had done in the past. In the past, the Daily Dot has posted horrifying and hilarious scenes from Black Friday, those kind of stories with roundups of the various different videos.
I wouldn't say hilarious, but
that was their headline.
Yep,
that was their headline. And she's saying that they're better than that now. Now they're going to look down their nose at anybody who does post those videos. And they are claiming that they believe that the people who go to Black Friday are all just across the board poor, desperate people who are being taken advantage of every time somebody watches a video of those people fighting. Now, I don't believe for a moment that only poor people go to Black Friday.
Right.
Don't buy that for a moment. And I've been to Black Fridays before, and I've seen the kinds of people that are there, and there's a variety of, at least by appearance. Obviously, you shouldn't judge by appearance, but sometimes that's all you got. There's families, there's individuals, and some people just can't pass up a good deal.
Right. Yeah, there's poor people out there for sure that are doing it, but there's also a middle class that if you're gonna call the middle class poor, some of these people are in major debt. Like, you can have a really nice house and still have a lot of debt.
Yep, that's definitely true.
People making $60,000 plus a year, and certainly they're not necessarily the brightest tools in the shed, but to say it's only poor people, I think is a little ridiculous.
So,
I've known people on both sides of the spectrum, both middle class and people who
go to Black Friday.
Yeah, poorer people, I mean.
You had asked earlier of when did this all begin, and the website...
The craze, the fights.
Right. The website blackfridaydeathcount.com only goes back to 2006, but I'm starting to vaguely recall some fights over Tickle Me Elmos in the late 90s.
Yeah, that would have been like 97,
but
98.
Those weren't Black Friday.
They had Black Friday back then.
I thought Black Friday was a little bit more recent than that.
No, Black Friday's been a thing
the late 90s?
For decades.
Decades.
Has it?
Yes.
It's the day, they call it Black Friday. We haven't mentioned this yet, but they call it Black Friday because, and I don't know how true it is.
Oh, yeah,
but they
decades.
get back,
that would be the 90s, late 90s.
No, it goes much further than that. They call it Black Friday because it's the first day of the holiday shopping season, and there's so much shopping that happens that it pushes the retailer into the black. That the retailer supposedly has been running in the red up until Black Friday. That's where the name comes from.
Wikipedia says that it goes back to 1952.
Yeah. I believe
really?
That. I believe it. Now, obviously, it probably wasn't as big in 1952.
Changed? I kind of want to say something changed at some point in the 90s, maybe. Or maybe
more consumerism and
we just came of age in that time, and we're all in our mid to late 30s here,
right.
And so the late 90s would have been when we were late teens, basically, and so you're more aware of the world around you and as a teenager than you would have been in 1987 or something like that, when the very same things might have been happening, but. And also, the other thing here's something else that's changed is technology.
The Monday thing. The Monday thing is more recent.
Cyber Monday is very recent.
Post-internet.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
That would be post probably 2004. I bet Cyber Monday doesn't go back much more than a decade or a decade and a half. I bet that doesn't even reach the 90s. That's that new. But something else that's changed between the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and now, as of the aughts, now everybody's got a camera. Now everybody standing in that line, which those lines have existed for decades, but now everybody can document what's actually going on. So it may appear now that there's more incidents or that there's more fights, but maybe there was just as many back in, the 1980s. It's just that it perhaps didn't get reported as widely. I mean, even if a report happened, let's say somebody got into a brawl in New Jersey where you might have been living at the time, maybe it would have made the local paper, but it sure wouldn't have made the AP wire.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It wouldn't have gotten the same kind of spread that
it wouldn't have gotten viral.
It couldn't have.
It couldn't have. Right.
It couldn't have.
And Cyber Monday goes back to 2005.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. So that would make sense because I was thinking late 90s at the latest, and it was, and I was thinking even a little bit later than that.
So back to the story here. This is the Daily Dot's opinion. The people in these videos aren't crazed, material-obsessed shoppers, but are actually people pushed to partake in this mass shopping event because they live in a capitalist country where the latest toys, games, and electronics are immediately purchasable for some families, but luxury items to others.
And what about the socialist countries? We see that every day. Venezuela.
Yeah, in Venezuela, you've literally got people in line for 8 hours at a time trying to get some toothpaste, if they're lucky.
So pulling up a little bit more info on Black Friday, they say here that between 1993 to 2001, Black Friday ranked between the 5th to 10th busiest shopping day of the year, with the last Saturday before Christmas taking first place. In 2003, Black Friday became the busiest shopping day of the year.
This is probably
and has retained that position every year since, with the exception of 2004, when it ranked second to the Saturday before Christmas.
So there was a change.
There was.
Like the Black Friday of the old is not the same thing as the Black Friday of the modern.
Right.
The last 20 years.
Interesting.
So, that probably is what happened. It just became more of a thing.
While the poverty rate, they claim, has fallen in recent years, 12.7% of Americans, 40.6 million people, lived in poverty in 2016, according to the U.S. Census. Now, let's be clear. poverty in the United States isn't exactly the same as poverty in, North Africa or something.
Venezuela.
Or Venezuela. Yeah. In the United States, people who are considered to be poor likely have more than one television set. They likely have air conditioning and heating.
Have
and
a much better standard of living than rich people in a lot of, even rich people in a lot of countries around the world today.
Sure. Now, when they say here, when it comes down to it, giving gifts is always the thought that counts, but it's messed up to think that poorer families aren't allowed to even want to purchase more expensive gifts at a discount. Well, why would somebody think that poorer families aren't allowed to want those things? It shouldn't come, says the author, to fighting over a sale item for people to be able to provide gifts for their families. It doesn't have to come to that. And in most places, it doesn't at all. The fact is, most places don't have fights. Most places, the supermajority of them, don't have viral videos coming out of them. 99.999% of every single Black Friday shopping event is relatively calm and orderly and without any fighting whatsoever.
I would dare say that 99.9% of the times when there's some big, huge blockbuster video game that comes out, they have very orderly thing. You show up to the GameStop, and there's some employee going by at like 11 o'clock handing out vouchers to the first 75 people or however many. There might be some store somewhere that's poorly run where, I forgot to hand out the voucher things. And then two nerds get into a fight over the Star Wars Trek game.
It doesn't have to come to a fight. In most cases, it doesn't. And in order to provide gifts for your family, you certainly don't have to go to Black Friday. I mean, what a ridiculous premise. There's only one good point that she makes here, and I'll share that coming up in moments. Hour number 2 is on the way. And then you've got some numbers about the initial results from Black Friday, and you can share your thoughts with us. Maybe you were out there today. What was it like?
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years from My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, November 24th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.14 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,293 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.8 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,072. Antiwar.com reports, despite promising earlier this week that they would lift the blockade on northern Yemen at noon on Thursday, the time came and went, and UN and other humanitarian aid ships continued to be prevented from accessing the port of Hodeidah. Northern Yemen is facing calamitous shortages related to the Saudi blockade, with many dying in recent weeks from the lack of medicine, thousands dying from a cholera epidemic that is among the worst in human history, and warnings that millions will soon be going from malnutrition to outright famine. Despite having made a very public point of their plan to ease the blockade, at least as it relates to certain humanitarian ships, the Saudis have made no comment since then, and it's puzzling why they announced it at all if they did not intend to allow the ships in. Though the Saudis had in recent weeks blockaded all ports across Yemen, they've already allowed the reopening of certain loyal ports in the south. Hodeidah is the lone rebel port, however, and the only way to get humanitarian aid into the entire northern half of the country, since Saudi warplanes damaged the Sana'a airport a few days ago. Aid groups and the UN are deeply critical of the ongoing blockade, warning that millions of lives are potentially at stake. So far, there is no sign that's going to make any difference to the blockading states.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports California Governor Jerry Brown has pardoned a man in prison for 39 years for 2 murders he did not commit. Brown signed the pardon Wednesday, the same day 70-year-old Craig Coley walked out of the state prison in Lancaster. Brown said in a statement announcing the pardon that Coley pursued religion and stayed away from gangs and violence. Brown said in the statement, "The grace with which Mr. Coley has endured his lengthy and unjust incarceration is extraordinary." Coley maintained that he did not kill Rhonda Wicht, whom he had previously had a relationship with, and her 4-year-old son at her apartment in Simi Valley, California in 1978. She was found beaten and strangled, apparently, and her son Daniel was smothered. Coley was son of a retired Los Angeles policeman who had dated her for nearly 2 years and worked as a night manager at a restaurant. Coley's first trial ended with a hung jury in 1979. He was found guilty in a retrial the next year and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On appeal, his conviction was affirmed. On Monday, Ventura County District Attorney Gregory Toten and the Simi Valley Police Chief David Livingstone announced that they were supporting a clemency appeal by Coley. They said new DNA tests conducted during a year-long investigation supported a finding of factual innocence. Toten and Livingstone wrote, "This case is tragic. An innocent woman and small child were murdered. Craig Coley spent 39 years in custody for a crime he did not commit." Brown asked the Board of Parole Hearings to conduct an investigation in 2015 after Coley sought clemency. In the investigation, police officials said they doubted Coley's guilt and they believed he was framed or that evidence was mishandled. Livingstone then opened an investigation in October 2016. DNA samples that supposedly were lost or discarded were found in a private laboratory. In new testing, DNA on a key piece of evidence matched the DNA of other individuals. Toten said at a news conference, "As district attorney, I must tell you I look forward to the day when I can shake Mr. Coley's hand, apologize to him for the injustice he suffered. I am also hopeful that one day soon we will bring to justice the violent man responsible for this most horrific crime." The case has been reopened. Coley may apply to receive compensation of $140 for every day he spent behind bars, which works out to approximately $1.9 million.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
It's a landmark day in the March for Equality here in America. Congress passed the Casinos for Fairness Act today, which gives every mistreated group in America the right to open a casino.
It worked with Native Americans. It will work for the rest of the country. If our society has kept you down, you will get a casino to pull yourselves back up.
Veterans will also have the right to open a casino as a replacement for costlier benefit programs.
I think it'd be nice to have a casino. I mean, I'd rather still be able to walk, but, you know.
While the majority of the country is hailing the Casino Act as a step forward, many Native Americans are objecting to the law.
We are still the most disadvantaged group in America. So all that we ask is that we be allowed to open whorehouses and start legally selling cocaine.
The bill raised the question of whether immigrants should be allowed to own casinos. After much debate, the legislature decided that they would not, but they will be able to sell sliced mango on the street without a vendor license.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here if you want to join us. We are live on this Black Friday edition of the show. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
Of course, you can bring up anything you want, although we've spent the first portion of the show, and we're going to continue actually on Black Friday just as the show topic. We opened up with the news that there hasn't been as much violence this year, which is a good thing. But also sort of the question of these videos. And I think this is an issue that was brought up last year when we talked about the Black Friday, but I don't think it was the same story because this story from the Daily Dot was just published today over at the Daily Dot or dailydot.com. Samantha Grasso claiming that the people who watch these videos are privileged people, somehow taking advantage of poor people who just can't do anything besides run and fight with one another over.
Again, Exhibit A, World Star Hip Hop, Exhibit B, bum fights.
What about the people taking the video? Are they rich? And if they're rich, then how is it that...
Then why are they there?
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's a great point. These videos
They're there to look down upon the peasants that are inside the Walmart.
Yeah, that's what they would have you believe here, and I don't buy it. I think that people of various different demographics go out to these things, and if they don't go out, various demographics share these videos. You don't have to be poor, or whether you're poor or not does not affect whether or not you are going to go shopping on Black Friday. Poor people also have the internet in the United States.
Yes.
And
it just occurred to me, I went shopping on Black Friday, and I bought myself a box of cookies.
Where did you go?
Walmart.
Really? You went out today?
Oh, wait, no, it was Thursday. I'm sorry, it was Thursday.
Was it after 6 p.m.?
It wasn't after 6 p.m.
Ah, okay. Then it wasn't technically.
So I guess it technically doesn't count.
The Black Friday sale.
But, I mean, the Black Friday stuff was there, and people were looking around.
No, it wasn't all there.
It was crowded.
They moved the stuff out that's got the big sale prices that night.
Okay.
They have to prep for that because they can't leave that stuff out in advance of the sale.
Right.
People are going to come in, they're going to snag it. But the idea that only privileged people share these videos, only privileged people, are, they're not going to these events. It's just ridiculous.
So that's akin to saying that only people that have never been arrested watch cops. Ian, you spent time in jail.
I did for civil disobedience.
Did they have televisions in the day room?
They sure did. 2 of them.
And on what is it? Saturday night? What TV show generally wound up getting slapped up there?
I don't know. I mean, it's usually sports or music videos or 1,000 Ways to Die. They would probably watch Cops. I mean, almost certainly.
I recall when I was a corrections officer 17 years ago, whatever night Cops came on at that time, everybody...
Yeah.
Yo, CO, put it on such and so channel. We got to watch Cops. It was the inmates
who wanted to watch it.
That wanted to watch Cops. Because then they would laugh. Oh, that dumbass, he should have done this. I wouldn't have got caught. But you're in here, which means you did get caught.
Look, so the author here makes it sound like this is the only option. That if you're poor, you have to go and, fight with people over a good deal to get your loved ones on Christmas. And no, that's not the case at all. You've got all kinds of options for shopping. You don't have to go on Black Friday just to get a good deal. There are, you pointed out, Darryl, there's Cyber Monday deals online.
Right.
There's deals online
but
throughout
poor people don't have computers.
They sure as hell do.
Yeah, they do. Plus, there's this thing called the public library that also has computers.
I mean, they have smartphones. Most American adults have them.
And some of these deals,
homeless people have smartphones.
the sell paper here for Walmart says that these deals are good online all day.
There you go. Right. So why even
And
bother
then there are
going-
other things where I've seen stuff. Price is good through Cyber Monday.
The reason why people go, I think, it's not because they don't know that there are deals online. There's just something about it. There's something about going out and experiencing not the spectacle of the fights, because odds are you're never going to see a fight. There's just so few of them. The numbers of fights are very, very small. Very unlikely you're going to encounter it. It's just the spectacle of this season or the shopping day or the consumerism or whatever you want to call it, that the call, not just the call of the deals, but to just go out and watch people in what they're doing. It's just interesting. It's interesting to participate in. I've done it a couple of times in my life, but it's usually because there was something that I kind of wanted to get and I wanted to see how it was. Like,
right, and I've never gone out during the really busy times of the Black Friday stuff. But
I waited outside of the stores once down in Florida just to see what it was like, to see what was the attitude like. What were the people like? How did people got along? They were talking in line as they were waiting outside. It's not like they were, at each other's throats trying to kill one another over, a special deal.
Yeah. But like I said, today, before coming in here, I went to the gym and realized, there's a Target. Let me go see if anything that I need is on sale. And I wound up getting actually, no, there was. Compression shirt was marked off like $5. So I got one for $10.
And you said it wasn't crazy because you went in the evening.
Right. It was like 5:30.
So all the
6 o'clock.
The craze.
How
was
do you guys?
earlier.
How would you guys compare like the 1990s versus Black Friday today? Because in the 1990s, everybody had to go shopping at a physical store.
Well,
because we
I
didn't really
worked
have
in
internet.
retail in the late 1990s, and so
But most people still didn't have internet in like 97-ish time period.
I don't
It was
know
really
if most
early
people.
2000s before the internet became
as
a very widely used
especially
thing.
for internet shopping.
But
there were a lot of people. I mean, it was busy. And
I remember it being absolutely crazy leading up to the holidays at shopping malls where every parking spot was taken.
Oh, yeah.
And today, I don't know if I don't even know if that happens on Black Friday anymore.
Well, malls are kind of dying, so that's a possibility.
But again, looking at the numbers where it said that in 2003 was when Black Friday became the busiest shopping day of the year, and think about it.
Wasn't
That's
that a result
when
of there not being online shopping having taken off, and people were beginning not to go to the malls anymore?
No, it was I think a result of just sales.
But
just
that's
happening
also
earlier and earlier.
That's also when George Bush had said, because there was that slight recession thing. George Bush said,
Go shopping.
You want to help the economy? Go shopping.
Yep.
You think people actually listened? I think the shift that you're talking about, because remember, Darryl had shared with us earlier that it was the Saturday before Christmas that used to be the number one day, like the sort of the last minute buys, and just the
I remember
I
that
think the
always being
sales,
crazy.
the competitiveness of these marketers, the retail shops. Constantly trying to outcompete one another and move the sales sooner, or earlier in the season resulted in what you see today with the Black Friday being the big day. And maybe they won't stay that way forever. Maybe things are going to change. But here's the one point that the author at the Daily Dot actually makes that makes the most sense. That's probably the strongest point. She says, taking pleasure in the pain of others is sick, and I'm not sure why Black Friday videos are somehow an exception to this obvious statement. Maybe it's because viewers are detached, watching people they don't know, nor understand the motivations of through a screen. However, we aren't any better than the people who have been recorded and exploited in these videos. We just happen to be in a more privileged position to not be in the videos ourselves.
Okay, so to take what she's saying, the people that watch World Star and bum fights, they're also privileged to not have been in the video.
No doubt. I definitely am privileged to not have been in a fight that that I got injured in and that was recorded and put online. I mean,
that doesn't mean that you're necessarily wealthier than the person that was in the fight.
Well, regardless, the strongest point she makes is that taking pleasure in the pain of others is sick. Now, that's the best argument so far. All the stuff about privilege and how it's only one group of people or one class that's involved in these fights is ridiculous on its face. But, and that's really what I wanted to focus on here. Is that a reason to stop watching these videos? Are you then becoming better than that video, or are you too good for watching those videos? If are you taking advantage of those people by watching them? Are you encouraging
I don't
more
watch
of
drone
that?
bomb videos because I don't want to see people getting killed. That doesn't mean that I'm better than the person that got killed in the drone bomb.
I think it's kind of ridiculous.
All right, more coming up here in moments. 8:55, 450 free. Is it wrong to watch the Black Friday videos?
No.
It's
Called
Free
it
Talk Live.
elephant skin. It was rough, wrinkly, like a Brillo pad.
His hair was falling out in clumps.
Petey stopped eating and all his hair fell out.
Our golden retriever, Sundance, he scratched incessantly. There was hair all over.
DINOVITE.com.
859-428-1000.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Within 2 weeks, the shedding slowed down to almost none. The scratching went away after a few days, and Sundance's coat was starting to get shiny and glossy.
It's a 180 turnaround. His skin has cleared up. He's not in pain.
If your dog has shedding, dry skin, excessive scratching, do the Dinovite.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Dash is digital cash, a digital currency designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime, for just pennies on the dollar. Dash is the first digital money that's governed by its users. Join Dash and help us build a better financial system for everyone. Find out more at dash.org. That's dash.org.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com. I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin. mymagicmud.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You may dial toll free to join us here. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio here, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
If you want to help build a better financial system for everyone, you should join Dash. Dash is digital cash. It's a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast, it can be private and easy. Fees are low and transactions are quick and can be confirmed instantly. You can pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime, for just pennies on the dollar. Dash is decentralized and run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Anyone can invest in Dash and earn rewards for helping run the Dash network. So join Dash and help create a better financial system for everyone. Take back control over your financial future today and find out more at Dash.org. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash right now. Go to Dash.org and you can find out why. We've been talking about the Black Friday violence, the videos that have gone viral. This year, not that many. There's only one that I found earlier today in a shopping mall in Alabama where a number of people are in a fight over what appear to be some sort of clothing there at the mall. They ended up, I guess, closing the mall early due to the fight that had broken out. At least that's what I've seen. But ultimately, compared to last year and previous years, this year seems to be on the downside as far as violence, and that's a good thing. I don't revel necessarily in watching the violence, but I have to admit there is something that is interesting about it to me. There's something like, sort of like, when people are rubbernecking at a car accident. We all know that accident, had it involved us, would have been traumatizing, possibly, involving death or potential future crippling. It could be a horrifying experience for the people involved, depending on the severity of the thing. But regardless, almost always people are going to slow down because they're looking to see what's going on over there. Yeah. It's interesting.
And you know what? I would probably be cringing while I was doing that. So the idea,
looking at a car accident?
The idea that I'm not going to look just because it's a terrible thing is just ridiculous. And it's not like it's perpetuating violence.
No, certainly not. But I was only giving that an example of like something that people look at that does involve horrible things happening to other people.
So I did a little bit of digging here on the fight or fights, plural,
the Alabama
at
thing?
The River Chase Galleria in Hoover. And police, according to AL.com, police said that the fights were not over sales, but
really
of a personal nature.
Oh, somebody got in a fight with a girlfriend or whatever.
Something
like that.
Well, one of the fights was between two females. Mm-hmm. The other fight apparently involved gunfire, but again, they say that the fights, plural, were not
sale related. They just happened to go down in the midst of it all.
In the shopping mall on, I think this said Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, it was last night. So basically on any other day, we wouldn't have even heard about it.
Correct.
Probably not. Yeah, that's true. And so again, the question here, and I think it's a kind of an interesting quandary, is it immoral to look at and to share videos of people fighting in real life? Is there something wrong with that? Because I can see the argument for it, that you're by sharing this thing, you're encouraging videos like this to be made. Right, like the people who are looking for views.
I think that argument's a kind of a fallacy.
I think wrong and immoral are different things in this context, but again, it's subjective.
Yeah, it's just because most people. All right, so there's obviously going to be people out there who are just, they have issues, right? But most of us can recognize what is entertainment value and what we would actually do in that situation. Most of us aren't going to go out there and rob a bank just because we see somebody robbing a bank on the television news, right? Mm-hmm. We can distinguish between those two things, and still,
right. So one could sort of make a. I'm not going to say a logical leap, but one could make a leap of, well, if it's wrong to watch this, it's also wrong to watch America's Dumbest Criminals because that encourages people to do stupid crimes.
So they can get on TV.
Well, what about video games? I mean, I think this argument has just been
video games
done to
are
death.
fantasy violence. Right?
Well, right, but you could still argue
but
that
there's
it
the claim
perpetuates
by
violence.
some people that
That's a good point.
video games cause violence.
Right.
So the Crusaders, they must have been playing Nintendo 64s to want to go, just slaughter people. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you make a good point there.
The opposite. I think the opposite actually what happens if you look at different kind of studies on this stuff. The opposite happens. People they get out violent tendencies or
By
whatnot
watching things like this?
by enjoying video games, violent video games, and things of that nature, rather than actually going out there and getting into a real violent interaction with other people.
Your thoughts are welcome if you want to join us here. 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Let's go to Ricky. He's in Pennsylvania. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Ricky.
Thank you there, Brother Ian.
Did you go out and experience the Black Friday shopping today?
No, but I'll tell you one thing, brother. I disagree with you how dangerous it can be. I got enough danger. I don't go out on Black Friday. Screw that, man.
It's not dangerous on Black Friday.
That's a matter of opinion, man.
The greatest danger is getting clipped in the parking lot by somebody, parking poorly.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what.
Well, you don't know because you don't go out. Right?
That's not true.
So in the fear gets
you don't go out on Black Friday.
Didn't
I don't
go out.
No.
Right. So you don't have any experience.
I have gone out in the past. I'd rather not, man.
All right.
There's not people wanting to rub out Ricky from the Commonwealth. I don't need old Granny over at TV.
What were you calling about?
Why does Granny want to rub you out?
That sounds
She wants the sale that I got in my hands. Nonetheless, that being said, see, I have a little bit of a problem, Brother Ian.
Yes, we know. One of them is communicating.
Well, tonight I'm going to be exercising my inherent rights of mankind under Section 1.
What's that?
Well, all men are born equal and free and independent and have,
How do you exercise that right exactly? I mean, that's just a statement about humanity.
Well, I have a right to acquire property, protect that property, and myself, my reputation.
What property are you wanting to acquire?
You can't protect your reputation, though.
I have my reputation.
You don't own your reputation.
Well, I can tell you this. I don't like somebody trying to trash mine.
It's never fun when that happens. There's no doubt about it. But you know what? You've made yourself a public personality, Ricky, so people can feel free to trash on you. That's just kind of what happens.
Who's trashing you?
I have a right to challenge report. See, here's what comes down here.
Who's trashing you?
Well, let's see here. I was listening the other night, in fact, and even after what Brother Ian said about future somebody broke the damn rules on that show.
No. My rule was for you, where I told you need to stop calling about things that happened in the past, and now you broke that rule again. If you do it one more time, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Darryl, thanks for the call. You do it one more time, Ricky, and we're just gonna have to put a ban on you. Because that's one of the things that is just not going to fly. Calling about things that happened on previous shows is just not interesting. Nobody out there really cares. More coming up here in moments. Thanks for the call, I think. This is Free Talk Live. It is the Black Friday edition. You can bring up what you want.
This just in. Before your doctor gives you another antibiotic prescription that you don't want, get this free report, The Miracle of Garlic, your first home medicine. This free report is filled with easy kitchen remedies for common colds, flus, sore throats, ear infections, and more. Plus, learn to boost your immunity before you get sick. Go now to gcnwellness.com. Just like it sounds, gcnwellness.com to get your free report, The Miracle of Garlic. Click gcnwellness.com.
The answer to being in control of your own healthcare is freedom from insurance. Become part of a group of self-pay patients that come together to share in each other's medical expenses. Individual share amounts begin at $107 a month and $347 for families. Choose from 3 health-sharing programs. Holistic treatments may be eligible for sharing. See guidelines. Discount programs available for dental, vision, and pharmacy. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Money, power, and respect are all yours at CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit, did your nerves spike? You didn't get the approval you seek, but there's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems the right way the first time so you get approved. Get up to $100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your project funded today. It's all about today at CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719. That's 1-800-707-8719. 1-800-707-8719. Or just go to CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and we're here on the Black Friday edition of the show. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Here tonight, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
Coming up, Chris is going to tell us, at some point, we'll talk about European censorship. I don't know if we ever got into that story the other week. So we might talk about that. But we're still on the topic of Black Friday. And Darryl, you had some numbers, because we've talked about the spectacle, which is the fights, and is it wrong to even share or be interested in those videos? And you're certainly still welcome to comment. Our toll-free number, 855-450-FREE. But what about the numbers? What are some of the initial results that you were seeing earlier when you were looking into this?
So initial results. Last night, Thanksgiving Day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, according to Adobe Analytics, $1.52 billion had been done online.
At 5 o'clock?
As of 5 p.m. yesterday.
That was before any of the big Friday sales started, for the most part.
Correct.
Okay.
They say in each of the first 22 days of November, more than $1 billion in revenue was rung up online, according to Adobe. A little above average.
So wait, that's from wait. That was from the full month up to that point?
Yes.
Okay.
So first 22 days of November, more than $1 billion in revenue per day. Thanksgiving Day, as of 5 p.m., $1.52 billion, which was up 16.8% from 1 year ago. 10 o'clock this morning, and this from CNBC. I am trying to find more recent numbers closer to when we began. Yeah. But as of 10 a.m., from midnight to 10 a.m., $640 million done solely online, which was up 18.4% from 1 year ago.
I see. So they comparing to last year. That's interesting. People making a shift, and of course that has been the trend over the years for people to say, you know what, I don't need to get into this parking lot madness. I don't need to go and wait in these excessive lines, because if you think about it, your time's worth something. I mean,
yes,
absolutely. Whether you're rich or poor, your time is worth something. And so if there's some sort of thing that you want to get, the question you have to ask yourself is, well, if you're getting $20 off a $100 item, which is a pretty decent discount, is it worth your time to drive to the store, find a parking spot, go inside and deal with whatever madness might be present inside and however long those lines are? I remember last year when I went with Renee to Walmart just to kind of check things out and see how things were and pick up a Pyrex set. The Pyrex set wasn't even that great. It's kind of got some crappy lids that ended up warping in the microwave. So,
that doesn't surprise me.
I don't,
but
I wasn't.
The Pyrex
glass
dishes themselves... Yeah. They're really good, especially for like a casserole dish.
Yeah. But ultimately, I could have probably gotten the same deal online. I didn't even look because the reason wasn't for me that I needed the glassware set.
Right.
If I needed it, I could have gotten it on SaveItPurse.com or something like that. Probably could have gotten a better one with better lids or something like that. But I just wanted to have the experience of going to Black Friday in New England. I'd never been up here. I'd been down in Florida, but I'd never been here, and I wanted to see, what that was like. But ultimately, the question was, maybe that was normally a $25 set or $30 set, and it went for $20. It went for $19. Was it worth my time to stand around and wait and wait?
That's not a question that I can answer for you. That's something that you have to answer for yourself.
It was worth it because I wanted to go and see Black Friday. I wanted to experience Black Friday. It wasn't worth it from the discount aspect. If all I was looking for was a discount, then no, it would not have been worth going to that thing because it took so much time. Whereas if you want to go online, as you said, Walmart says they're offering their deals online.
Right.
So you go online, go to shop.freetalklive.com. There's the Walmart link. You go in through that, and you get what you want to get. And then you don't have to deal with the time that it takes to park and to wait in lines to check out, to finally get out of there. Of course, the getting out of there was harder, too, because there's a backup line at the stoplight trying to get out of the shopping center.
Yeah, the shopping center here,
it's terrible.
It's got the worst thing. They need to put a traffic circle there.
Yeah. That's a whole other story, but that's my point on that is like, you got to factor those things in to these situations.
And so another number here. So again, keep in mind that as of 10 o'clock this morning, $640 million. As of 5 p.m. last night, on Thanksgiving, online, $1.52 billion. Cyber Monday last year, $6.6 billion.
It's going to go up. It'll go up.
Yeah.
Toll-free number tonight, if you want to join us here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. In fact, Adobe Insights, this is according to CNBC.com and a story published 5 hours ago. Adobe Insights, which measures 80% of online transactions at 100 major U.S. retailers, said mobile transactions, meaning people buying on their smartphones.
Yeah.
Mobile transactions are hitting record highs already this holiday season. Mickey Merkel, the vice president of Adobe's Marketing and Customer Insights division, says the big story this holiday season is mobile shopping. Shoppers looking for discounts are getting better at using smartphones to quickly close the deal, and we're seeing better mobile conversion this season at over 10% growth.
So
10% from 1 year
here's
to the next.
a story from BGR.com, not a source that I'm familiar with, but they're saying that some of the Black Friday sales that Walmart was doing, because online price all day long, they were running out of items before shoppers could get into the stores because they all got purchased online.
Really, that can happen where they'll like purchase out store inventory from the online?
That's generally...
Yeah, I guess that's right. They'll like hold it for you, right?
Yeah. You buy online, pick up in store.
Wow, that's amazing.
They say it looks like Walmart ran out of Black Friday stock rather quickly on Thanksgiving. Actual Black Friday customers are furious. Buyers are slamming Walmart on Facebook and Twitter for the various stock issues they encountered on Thanksgiving Day. One person posted on Walmart's Facebook page, "What's the point of having online Black Friday if everything is out of stock or in-store purchase only? Where can you find plenty?" Or they say that's where you can find other reactions on the Facebook page. That's apparently the price Walmart has to pay for pushing early Walmart Black Friday deals. Online sales started on Thursday morning, but by evening, many items were sold out. This really doesn't look good for a retailer that's aiming to compete with Amazon. Among the most popular items were a Sharp Smart LED TV, some video games, Wrangler jeans, other clothes, and other items. What's disturbing is that some buyers who were lucky enough to place their orders were later notified that the items they bought were out of stock and they would not be receiving the item. Someone posted on
a lot of times
Twitter,
there's no rain checks on these kind of sales. You know, once they're sold out, they're sold out.
Right, but no, they're saying they made the purchase online and then got an email, sorry, but
That's tough.
You no longer have this item.
That's just bad inventory management.
At Cass is Real says, "Hey, Walmart and Walmart Help," tagging both. "I purchased 2 iPhone 6 phones for my twins at midnight, but received an email at 7 p.m. that they were canceled. My bulk order, now the phones are sold out."
Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m. on Black Friday Eastern Time, Adobe said 61.1% of shoppers' visits to retailers' websites stemmed from mobile devices, including smartphones and tablets. Those devices were driving 46.2% of total online revenue, as consumers had already spent more than $640 million by Friday morning. As you pointed out, that's an increase of 18.4% compared with a year ago. So the majority of shoppers coming on mobile devices to these online stores. Now, personally, I can't stand shopping on my phone. I have no interest in doing that. But
tablet's also a mobile device.
Yeah, it's basically a bigger phone, though, so it's still just as annoying. There's more coming up here in moments. You can share your thoughts on Free Talk Live.
Okay.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are 2 Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
Happy the rescue dog. He was missing hair, stinky, scabby, but I have a vet that I trust, and she recommended Dinovite.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite for your dog this week.
We'll send you a bottle of Super Mega Fish Oil free.
Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Free this week at Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original, most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Understanding your credit score is the first step towards managing and improving it. This is Charlie Sundstrom with your Van Dyke Mortgage Minute. The most influential component of your credit score is your payment history. Almost equally as important is the amount you owe on credit accounts. Also impacting your score, but to a lesser degree, are the length of time you've utilized your credit, the number of new accounts, credit inquiries, and your various types of credit accounts. To help achieve or maintain a healthy credit score, have a system set up to assure your bills are always paid on time. Don't max out your cards. It's better to have a high credit limit with a low balance. Never close old accounts. The age of these can actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your credit. You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll free, bring up anything that you want. Our number here is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Looking for a good gift to give somebody this holiday season? Give them some cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, because that could be the gift that just keeps on giving. Now, there's no guarantee that Bitcoin's going to keep going up in value over time, but it's been pretty awesome the last 12 months. It's gone up over 1,000% in 12 months from today previously. You go to bitcoin.com to learn about Bitcoin, get the basics there. Also get news information about what's going on with the Bitcoin world at their news site, which is news.bitcoin.com. But yeah, man, especially for younger people in your life, if they don't already have cryptocurrency, not a bad idea to get them set up with a wallet and give them some Bitcoin. Go to bitcoin.com to learn more about that. Or Bitcoin Cash, which is also up over the last several days.
What about Bitcoin Gold?
Bitcoin Gold's also up as well.
Bitcoin Classic?
Is that out now?
It's been being mined.
Okay, I don't know enough about that one. I haven't seen anything about it. So.
There was a story on, I believe it was Bitcoin.com, where they were delving into the question of, is it an elaborate hoax? It's being mined, but is it being mined as some kind of a joke, or is somebody actually trying to fork the Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I think I've heard somebody mention it before, but these forks of Bitcoin are going to get more and more obscure and pointless, I think, over time.
Bitcoin forks are the new ICO.
Well, no, not exactly. An ICO is a initial coin offering.
So what I mean is it's the new fad.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fork Bitcoin, and then everybody automatically winds up getting an amount. And
right. What it means when you fork Bitcoin is, in this case, a hard fork, as they call it, that can result in two different competing forms of the same cryptocurrency. In this case, Bitcoin, which is now forked 3 times, I think? No, twice. It forked into Bitcoin Cash and then into Bitcoin Gold, and now you're saying this other thing called Bitcoin Classic, which
was a fork of Bitcoin Cash.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Have you heard anything?
I there's too many forks to keep up with them all, and it seems like most of them are just a wasted effort, unless you're going to actually come out with a point of sales type of system and plugins and things for websites. I mean, what's the point?
Well, the point apparently is to cash in. I mean, these the people that put this fork together, they end up with a bunch of free money, basically, and then they can cash it out or whatever. I mean, these Bitcoin Gold things are worth $300 a piece right now, close to $400. So, I mean, there's what, however many billions of dollars in value
with it?
Selling it, buying it, and selling it. Just like every other cryptocurrency. It's all speculation. It's just speculation.
I mean,
that's what all of them are.
At least like Bitcoins has some value in that you can buy something with it at the end of the day.
You can.
And Dash has got some value because you can buy something with it. Zcash has some value because it adds anonymity to the whole transaction.
Right.
I mean,
or Monero.
Right.
There are 1,000 cryptocurrencies, and the vast majority
they're clones of each other. They don't have any value.
That's right.
Right. The vast majority of them, all you can do is trade them for other cryptocurrencies.
So, So anyway, Bitcoin.com, you can learn more about that there. We were talking about Black Friday and some of the numbers.
Yeah, and the LA Times has an article saying that Black Friday mayhem may be a thing of the past.
I hope so.
Che Woong Bae and his girlfriend had steeled themselves away to brave the Black Friday shopping chaos that they'd only watched on TV back home in South Korea.
Oh, yeah. They must think that every place is like that, right? Because it gives a false impression. As I was talking about earlier, you see this violence, it's spread around so much, you think it's risky to go to Black Friday shopping. No, it's peaceful for the most part. People get along. There's not fights. Fights are very, very rare. That's why we see the news about them. They're newsworthy.
Right.
Anyway, go on.
But when Bae and his girlfriend arrived at the Target at 4:30 this morning in North Hollywood, they were the only ones in line. No one else joined the queue for an hour ahead of the store's opening at 6 o'clock.
If you're the only one in line, technically that's not really a line, is it?
Well, the store wasn't open yet, so they were the first people to get there.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Waiting on the store to open.
Does that mean it's a line, though?
There were two of them.
So then there would be a line. Yeah, that's a good point.
Bae says
I remember something in the, I don't know what it was, probably 2002-ish time period, and there was like I used to work for a retailer, the Staples, and I remember this is when I was in high school, and I remember I'm pretty sure.
Were you sales floor, like the computer tech side? You have to think about it?
No, I worked for them twice, and
wait, you only went 2 days?
No, I worked for them at two different periods of time, so I'm not sure exactly which one I'm thinking of. Actually.
I worked on a Tuesday and then on Black Friday.
Where were you in the store?
So I don't. So I was I did computer repair.
Yeah.
I was their main
tech geek or whatever.
Yeah, their head tech
geek squad.
And yeah, exactly.
Is that their thing or is that Best Buy? Is it
Geek
Best
Squad
Buy
is
that
Best
has the
Buy.
Geek Squad?
Geek Squad is Best Buy. There was literally no line except for like maybe within like the last 20 minutes, like before the store opened.
Wow.
And they had all sorts of deals too, like Best Buy does.
Yeah,
and,
Staples normally has some good deals.
And it was just interesting because it was like it really wasn't at all impressive.
What you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but it was a town. So I mean, I do have to wonder where these mega lines are actually forming.
They definitely exist. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I've seen people forming lines outside of places. That was in Sarasota, Florida, where I used to live.
Bae, who was reportedly disappointed, says on the TV we see people fighting each other. So at first we were a little scared to come out. I didn't expect it to be so quiet. Once known for frenzied crowds that jostled for deals in packed stores, Black Friday in Southern California has become more subdued. The rise of e-commerce has made savings available to anyone, anywhere, anytime. To compete with online sellers and each other, brick-and-mortar retailers have pushed discounts days and even weeks before the day once considered the critical barometer of the holiday shopping season. The result? Consumers said stores and malls were less packed and more relaxed. It was a welcome change for some. Amanda Solomon says, if I had walked in and there was a massive crowd, I would have walked right back out.
Okay.
Her mother, Irene Castaldo, chimed in. it wouldn't be worth the savings.
Yep,
and then
exactly.
they go on to list some of the dills and
if you got to dump an hour
here.
into it, to get the thing you want, then in a lot of cases it's just not worth it.
It's not worth it also because they tend to cut back on certain features and functionality and components to give you less of whatever it is you're buying.
You're talking about you're saying the loss leader is likely to be a lower quality product?
Yeah, basically lower
in some
quality,
cases that's true.
Cut features, things of that nature.
Yeah, in some cases that's true. I remember they sold like some off-brand TV in Kmart.
Yeah,
they did that.
Even during the regular the non-holiday season, a lot of places do that. Like Walmart, you get like an HP printer, but it doesn't have support for like scanning or something crazy or it has support for scanning, but it's a reduced print resolution or something like that. Or the ink cartridges, you get less ink in the ink cartridges.
That's true.
Like
that's true in general with HP at least. The one that we have here in the studio, TJ the Spy, when he was here, he actually bought that for the house here, and it came with like starter toner.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you don't get a full toner cartridge when you buy the printer itself. It'll run out within a certain time frame, and then of course you got to go and buy a whole other cartridge, which costs almost as much as the printer itself. At that point.
Yeah, and it's funny because even at like you can buy basically the same device at like a Staples and have full cartridges, but then go to a Walmart and get what you think is the same printer or similar, and it doesn't have those.
I don't know if HP ships printers with full cartridges.
Well, pretty much everybody in the industry that like does business with Walmart cuts corners on like in different places in order to get the price down.
That's true. Walmart insists on it.
Huge. It's huge.
Walmart will actually. We read an article about them years ago and how they've got some really interesting things that they do to actually pressure their vendors into lowering the prices that they offer to Walmart. So they'll send in efficiency experts into the factories and the businesses that they're like Lee Jeans or whatever, whatever brands we're talking about, Black & Decker. They'll send in somebody like, you could be more efficient here, and here, and drop your price by a penny.
Yeah, cut that feature, this feature, that feature, use cheaper plastics. Yeah, I've seen it. Actually, I remember again when I was working at Staples. This is like 10, 15 years ago, but they had the computers out. They didn't have the webcams. Like they'd been they shipped with webcams for like 5 years probably at that point, and they were the low price deal had no webcam, and I always thought that was hilarious. But it was a perfect demonstration of exactly what happens when you get
at
these
a glance
deals.
you think you're getting the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 855 450 free. More about Black Friday and the holiday shopping season ahead. Our toll free number 855 450 3733. Hour number 3 is coming up. You can join us.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. There are lots of ways ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, November 24th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.14 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,293 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.8 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,072. Antiwar.com reports, despite promising earlier this week that they would lift the blockade on northern Yemen at noon on Thursday, the time came and went, and UN and other humanitarian aid ships continued to be prevented from accessing the port of Hodeidah. Northern Yemen is facing calamitous shortages related to the Saudi blockade, with many dying in recent weeks from the lack of medicine, thousands dying from a cholera epidemic that is among the worst in human history, and warnings that millions will soon be going from malnutrition to outright famine. Despite having made a very public point of their plan to ease the blockade, at least as it relates to certain humanitarian ships, the Saudis have made no comment since then, and it's puzzling why they announced it at all if they did not intend to allow the ships in. Though the Saudis had in recent weeks blockaded all ports across Yemen, they've already allowed the reopening of certain loyal ports in the south. Hodeidah is the lone rebel port, however, and the only way to get humanitarian aid into the entire northern half of the country, since Saudi warplanes damaged the Sana'a airport a few days ago. Aid groups and the UN are deeply critical of the ongoing blockade, warning that millions of lives are potentially at stake. So far, there is no sign that's going to make any difference to the blockading states.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports California Governor Jerry Brown has pardoned a man in prison for 39 years for 2 murders he did not commit. Brown signed the pardon Wednesday, the same day 70-year-old Craig Coley walked out of the state prison in Lancaster. Brown said in a statement announcing the pardon that Coley pursued religion and stayed away from gangs and violence. Brown said in the statement, "The grace with which Mr. Coley has endured his lengthy and unjust incarceration is extraordinary." Coley maintained that he did not kill Rhonda Wicht, whom he had previously had a relationship with, and her 4-year-old son at her apartment in Simi Valley, California in 1978. She was found beaten and strangled, apparently, and her son Daniel was smothered. Coley was son of a retired Los Angeles policeman who had dated her for nearly 2 years and worked as a night manager at a restaurant. Coley's first trial ended with a hung jury in 1979. He was found guilty in a retrial the next year and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On appeal, his conviction was affirmed. On Monday, Ventura County District Attorney Gregory Toten and the Simi Valley Police Chief David Livingstone announced that they were supporting a clemency appeal by Coley. They said new DNA tests conducted during a year-long investigation supported a finding of factual innocence. Toten and Livingstone wrote, "This case is tragic. An innocent woman and small child were murdered. Craig Coley spent 39 years in custody for a crime he did not commit." Brown asked the Board of Parole Hearings to conduct an investigation in 2015 after Coley sought clemency. In the investigation, police officials said they doubted Coley's guilt and they believed he was framed or that evidence was mishandled. Livingstone then opened an investigation in October 2016. DNA samples that supposedly were lost or discarded were found in a private laboratory. In new testing, DNA on a key piece of evidence matched the DNA of other individuals. Toten said at a news conference, "As district attorney, I must tell you I look forward to the day when I can shake Mr. Coley's hand, apologize to him for the injustice he suffered. I am also hopeful that one day soon we will bring to justice the violent man responsible responsible for this most horrific crime. The case has been reopened. Coley may apply to receive compensation of $140 for every day he spent behind bars, which works out to approximately $1.9 million.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
I just got off the phone with New York. We are the #1 network in the world. And it is an honor to stand before you at such an exciting time. We're stretching boundaries that will irreparably alter people's perception of what they are willing to watch. And our next season will offer tantalizing programming that plays seamlessly into the desire of our viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you just a taste of what ODS has to offer.
You know the rules. Grow a pumpkin or go home. Here's the twist. Only one of you has the real pumpkin seeds.
Are you a pumpkin or not?
You call yourselves pumpkin growers?
I know I didn't get the pumpkin seeds. I dug in there. They're bean sprouts.
Starting a pumpkin alliance. Anyone grows a pumpkin, we split the money.
Get out of my patch.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us here on the radio waves. It is Black Friday edition. We're here live with you tonight. It's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
We've been talking about everything from the Black Friday craze, the mobs, the fights, which really didn't happen this year, thank goodness. It's nice, refreshing change for the better. But, are there really any significant dangers from the fights? No. Black Friday, for the most part, is an entirely safe thing. If you're dealing with millions of people out shopping, then there's a chance somebody's going to get into a fight, just like there's a chance you could, get into a road rage incident just any old time you're driving.
Right.
You're just dealing with people.
Actually, it seems like a high probability that somebody is going to get hurt.
What do you mean?
Just with that number of people, period.
Right, yeah. Anytime you put that number of people together, you're going to have problems.
It's actually kind of surprising that there weren't more injuries.
That's what I'm saying. I'm really pleasantly surprised to only have found one viral video of people fighting, in this case in a mall in Alabama, Hoover,
right. And,
Alabama.
Again, according to AL.com, they said the fight wasn't even shopping related. It was, a personal matter.
Somebody fighting over a boyfriend or something like that. So the toll-free number here, if you want to join us, 855-450, free like freedom. Darryl, you're sharing some observations about things maybe even slowing down somewhat in the stores?
Again, LA Times reporting about shopping experiences in Southern California. There was a young man, Chae Woong Bae, and his girlfriend, both from South Korea, decided they wanted to go see what this Black Friday thing was all about that they've seen on TV. Get to the store at 4:30. They're the first people there. Store opened at 7 o'clock, and again, Bae said, on the TV, we see people fighting each other, so at first we were a little scared to come out. I didn't expect it to be so quiet.
They were the only people there
at 4:30.
Yeah.
Other than possibly the reporter who knew that they were there at 4:30.
Right.
I guess. Continuing on, they have some other observations of people who were saying, it's a lot quieter. The National Retail Federation predicts that retail sales in November and December could total between $678.75 billion and $682 billion, up from $655.8 billion last year.
Yep. So that's bigger overall.
Market research firm IHS Markit forecast holiday retail sales rising 4.2% compared to last year, the strongest growth since 2014. Many Americans also, according to IHS Markit, get paid on the first Friday of December, which could wind up spreading holiday shopping into next weekend. And I guess they're basing this based on people that get paid bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Chris,
we shared recently a story about how some Americans are actually still in debt from their last year's holiday shopping. And I guess that may be how they predict these things is based on what people are saying they're planning on spending.
Right. I remember I answer online surveys and wind up getting points, and I can turn those points into
Google,
Amazon
right?
gift cards.
Oh, okay.
Not through Google.
Okay.
No, this is through YouGov.
Oh, okay. Somebody told me there was one for Google, too.
There probably is.
Where you get like Google Store credits or something.
Yeah. No, I do the one through YouGov. And there was a survey not too long ago where do you plan on shopping? And then through a range, how much do you plan on spending on gifts, things of that sort. So some of the prediction is based on analytics that they do. And then also, there are other economic indicators of, the shopping or the retail sales during this month were lower than what were projected from last year and this and that. So
I wonder how
calculate
often
accordingly.
I wonder how often the projections are wrong. Because
I don't know.
Every year we read these National Retail Federation or Foundation projections, and they're always just sort of accepted as, yep, that's what's going to happen. But, how often are they like way off by either too high or too low as far as, what actually happens?
I think they're fairly accurate as far as, within, say, I would say
billion.
plus or minus 5%.
Yeah.
And again, that's a big, huge range when we're talking about, $600 billion. But again, they are projecting this year that spending will increase about 4%. So when I say plus or minus 5, either spending will be the same as last year,
Right.
or it could be
Up
what
to.
they're predicting here, or a little higher. Christopher, the executive director of U.S. and Global Economics at IHS Markit, says it's calmer and it's a little more organized and a little more uniform. Black Friday is still important, but it's not what it used to be.
Parents just couldn't think up any other name for him. Let's name our son Chris, whose last name is Christopher.
I used to live up the street from Robert Roberts Jr.
Wow.
That's good
I
stuff.
broke my nose with a baseball bat in his
Really?
front yard.
How did you do that?
So very funny story. We were playing baseball.
Yeah.
And
How old were you?
About 12.
Okay.
And I
In the front yard?
In the yard.
Okay.
And I hit the ball down into the storm drain thing, and the little skinny kid that could climb into the storm drain got tired of going into the storm drain to get the ball, and he was like, I'm not getting the ball anymore. All right, well, we got anything else that we could play with? And he said, well, my sister's got a hippity hop.
What's that?
That big, huge, giant rubber thing with the handle that you bounce on.
Like a pogo stick?
No, pogo
That's what I'm
stick's not
thinking
a
of.
ball, Ian.
Oh, okay. It's
a big round ball with a handle.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I see what you're
The
saying.
hippity hop.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was like, okay.
Like the thing that's the size of a small child, right? Like a fairly large
Yes.
thing. Okay, gotcha.
So I tell him to pitch it to me.
Yep.
And he does. And I swing and I hit the ball. And the ball pushed the bat into,
Right into your
my
face.
Oh.
And then
Holy
the ball
crap.
hit my face.
Oh.
And then the ball bounces off of my face, and the bat goes to fall and hits the ball, and then comes back and hits me in the face again.
Ow.
See, now we didn't have video cameras back then, so nobody got
If you look closely, and I'm going to do some visuals here with this water bottle, but if you look very closely, you will see that a ball, or not a ball, but a bottle or a baseball bat fits perfectly on the right side here.
Yep. Yeah, it sure does. Yep, he's doing it. He really does.
The nose veers off ever so slightly to the left.
Wow.
Yeah. And my next door neighbor was a paramedic. He wasn't home at the time. By the time he got home a couple hours later, and I told him what happened, he said, I can try to set that for you.
Oh, wow.
And he touched my nose, and it just hurt too bad.
Yep.
And he said, it kind of feels like it's already set a little bit. So, like, just in the couple of hours, the bone started trying to heal itself, and he would have had to re-break my nose to get it straight. God. And I said, no
thanks.
No, don't do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So Robert Jr. and Christopher, people with absolutely horribly unimaginative parents. And how Darryl broke his nose when he was like 12 or 13.
All right. So did you have more from that story that you were sharing there?
Yeah, Danny Marin, who's a West Covina, California resident who started shopping at 4 a.m. on Friday, says
that's
that
hardcore. Well, not so much in California. It's hardcore if you're in Michigan.
Crowds aren't necessarily better. While he saw some crowds at stores he visited, Walmart, Kohl's, Big Five Sporting Goods, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Best Buy, it wasn't as hectic as he once remembered. He says it was more fun to shop like this because you were able to actually shop.
You're not packed in tight with a huge crowd of people.
The co-founder and managing partner of Retail System Research says Black Friday's shift away from the doorbuster frenzy means shoppers are looking for more than just discounts. What's going to drive people into stores is really an experience.
Yeah, I think that's true. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And, of course, we invite you to join us here on the radio. You can bring up anything that you want. It is the Black Friday edition. If you were out and about today and you want to share your experience, you're certainly welcome to do that. Or maybe you're working on the retail side of things. You want to share a crazy customer story? Feel free to join us here. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is Digital Cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy. Fees are low and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Dash is set up to succeed where other platforms have failed. Give it a try. Dash.org. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at Dash.org.
Have you wanted to get into Bitcoin mining but don't want to deal with the hassle and frustration of operating the mining hardware? Let pool.bitcoin.com handle it for you like I did. Just visit pool.bitcoin.com and use their calculator to estimate what you could end up making. You get to decide which Bitcoin you want to mine. If you already have mining equipment, you're invited to join pool.bitcoin.com. Get all the details and get started mining Bitcoin at pool.bitcoin.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Shop online and support Free Talk Live. Every purchase you make at shop.freetalklive.com helps spread a message of liberty. From shop.freetalklive.com, you can shop at places like Walmart, Newegg, Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, Omaha Steaks, HostGator, and more. Plus, you can get discounts on web hosting, legal documents, or pretty much anything using saveatpurse.com. Just bookmark the link and help Free Talk Live while shopping online. Thank you for shopping with shop.freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are invited to join us on the radio. Take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Want to get a great gift this holiday season or any time of the year? MyPillow. I mean, really, it is probably the best pillow you'll ever use. I suppose they could make it better at some point, but it's pretty damn awesome right now. You go to MyPillow.com, use code FTL. You get your MyPillow at half price or 2 for the price of 1. You can order more than 1. It's up to you. And then send them or give them to your loved ones. It's designed to fit to the shape of your body and hold your neck in the proper position. I've been using mine for more than a year and a half, I think, at this point. It's been pretty great.
Yeah.
You can also wash your MyPillow, which is an amazing feature. You can wash it and dry it. It's designed for that. So you can always keep it fresh, and you don't have to worry about whatever dead skin cells and all that stuff that would normally collect inside your pillow because, again, it's washable. Go to MyPillow.com, use code FTL, get that 50% off deal. And don't forget, if for whatever reason you don't agree, if for some reason you don't like it, within the first 60 days, you can send it back to them, and then they will send you your purchase price back to you. And you don't have to go anywhere except to MyPillow.com and use code FTL. The pillow, by the way, is guaranteed to last for 10 years. MyPillow.com, code FTL, like Free Talk Live. Here in the studio, it's Ian.
And Chris.
And Darryl.
So, story here from FoxNews.com, another opinion piece about Black Friday. Headline, will this Black Friday mark the death of the shopping mall? And it was interesting when I read this headline to you guys. There was immediate comments about death of shopping malls. One of our friends here in the studio mentioned that him and his mother were talking about this. My parents called me on Thanksgiving, and some comment was made about the death of shopping malls. So it's like people are talking about shopping malls no longer existing.
There's
anymore.
an excellent website, and I don't remember the name of it, but they have pictures of all of the abandoned shopping malls.
Yeah, with like the overgrown plants.
And, plants growing all through. Here's a food court covered in ivy.
Right. It looks like something you'd see in like The Walking Dead or some kind of dystopian future.
It looks like something you would see from like an abandoned city that everybody left because some nuclear reactor wound up going bad.
Yeah, and there's
Chernobyl.
so many of these too that they put in this article that I think I've seen the same thing. Just search for photos of old abandoned shopping malls, and it's just stunning. For the past few generations, some say we've been living in the information age, or the space age, or the atomic age. But if I could name it, I'd call it the mall age. This is, let's see who the author is here, Steve Kurtz at Fox News. Since the first U.S. indoor mall, the Southdale Center in Edina, Minnesota, opened in 1956, the mall has been the place to be, or at least it was. Future historians will look at movies from Fast Times at Ridgemont High to Dawn of the Dead to Paul Blart Mall Cop and know that there was once this place where we all gathered, a place that meant a lot to us. But Black Friday is well named this year. The day after Thanksgiving, when shopping is supposed to kick into high gear, may instead sound the death knell for the great American institution of the mall. Why? The short answer, Amazon. The slightly longer version, online shopping saves money and makes it unnecessary to drive to the mall. And one-stop shopping at stores like Walmart and Target, not to mention dollar shops popping up like mushrooms, is more convenient and generally cheaper than shopping at the mall. Over the last decade or so, U.S. department stores have lost about a third of their revenue. Giants like Sears, JCPenney, and Macy's have been shedding outlets like a St. Bernard sheds fur. And specialty stores that populated malls are falling by the wayside as well. Looking at book-selling behemoth Borders, now defunct since 2011, or Radio Shack, which filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in 2015. I remember Radio Shack at the mall when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know I wonder how many of these, a lot of the indoor malls seem to have failed, but I've noticed that a lot of them have actually been turned into strip malls, and they're still around.
Yeah, it's the indoor malls that we're talking about specifically.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that particular business model, outdoor strip centers or shopping centers, those things are doing fine, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like the internet kind of killed the indoor mall because they're bigger and
more overhead.
Or at least the bigger ones.
Maybe
because
more overhead to operate it.
They're not convenient, right? I mean, you have to go to the mall, you have to find your parking spot, and you have to go inside and walk around. Whereas the smaller indoor malls, which have been converted into strip malls now, have managed to find success because they're convenient to get to, right?
But are they? You still have to find a parking spot.
Yeah. And then you don't get to go inside. You have to walk around out in the hot sunlight.
I think a lot of it has to do with what you were talking about.
No, it's not. Not necessarily.
I think a lot. It's the overhead, and then
the overhead. Yeah,
people just not hanging out anymore. Because remember when we were younger, we would hang out at the shopping mall.
True.
Yeah,
that's true. And then tacitly do let's go to the arcade. Let's go buy, a Blizzard from the Dairy Queen in the food court.
Yeah.
And people don't
that revenue's
hang
not
out
there. Yeah, that revenue's
anymore.
Not there.
There's not as much.
Teenagers are the hangout people, right? Like older people don't hang out at the mall.
But old people would go do laps around the mall and still buy stuff from the Dairy Queen.
That's probably true.
It's probably a combination of things because we have more entertainment now options that are in the home, like video game systems. I mean, you just didn't have as much of that when.
Well, we were reading an article about teenagers today, and they're less social,
and they don't have the licenses, and they've increased the ages for driver's
as far
licenses.
as driving is concerned.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not even interested.
Increasing the age to drive.
What's that?
You said they're increasing the age to drive?
I haven't heard that.
Yeah. When I was younger, I could get my license at 16, but back in my dad's day, it was 14.
Really?
And now it's like 18 or 19 or 20.
No, it's not.
In some states. I
know there are some states that have restricted license to where you can't drive at night.
Let me back up. In New Jersey, I had two employees or people I was interviewing to be employees, and both of them were like 21, and they both ran or 20, 21, something like that. And they both ran into a problem because if you're under the age of like 25, you have to go a year of driving with another individual before you can get your actual license. So I couldn't hire either.
God.
Yeah, you've got to have a learner's permit before you get the regular license.
For a whole year? In Jersey? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
up until
like
25?
Yeah, if you're under 25 and it was something like that. All I remember is I don't remember the details of it, but I remember that I would not be able to hire either of these adults, not young kids, adults that were over 18, and they could not get their license in a timely fashion because of the laws.
So again, back to teenagers hanging out at the mall. One of the reasons that doesn't happen, besides the fact that they can't drive, but many of them aren't even interested in driving.
Yeah,
because they're getting driven around by their parents.
But they've made it very difficult to get your license. I mean,
right, and
I don't
then
think you can deny that.
The thing that they
it
call
used to be easy.
The graduated driver's license, to where there are restricted hours that you're allowed to drive. You can't have more than a certain number of people in the vehicle with you.
You got to put a little placard on the back of your vehicle to indicate that you're a young driver.
But also they're not hanging out at all in real life as much. They still do, in certain circumstances. But percentage-wise, many of them are just online. They're just hanging out, if you will, if that's even a term, online, in a chat room or whatever it is that people do Snapchat. I don't know what the methods are. They change by the moment, it seems. But the toll-free number, if you want to join us here, 855-450-FREE. They're not going to the mall.
Right.
No.
855-450-3733. More about the death of malls. Another piece here. There's been no construction on a major new mall since 2006, which I totally believe. They're tearing them down.
They're turning them all into condos here in
That's
Keene.
right. That's right.
Yep.
More coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
Have you ever wondered who the second person to discover gravity was? When you're in the mood for a treat, would you go to the second best bakery in town? Or how about the name John Breckenridge? Recognize it? If you don't, that's because he came in second to Abraham Lincoln. The firsts are first for a reason. Just how ID Stronghold was the first to create the technology to protect your credit cards from thieves with RFID chip scanners. ID Stronghold products block signals from those scanners, so thieves can't capture your critical data. Get a stronghold on your personal information and protect your family too. Don't settle for the second best wallet. Pick up ID Stronghold wallets for everyone on your list this holiday season. They're the perfect stocking stuffer, with leather wallets starting as low as $20 on Walmart.com, eBay, Amazon, and QVC. Save 10% by using coupon code PRESENT for a limited time. That's coupon code PRESENT only on IDStronghold.com. IDStronghold.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. The death of the institution known as the shopping mall, something that most of us grew up with, very intimately familiar with. And then when's the last time you were inside of one of them?
Well, I walked through the thing here in Keene that they call a shopping mall that they're turning into condos.
Yeah, but did you go there to actually buy something or consider buying
I don't even know
something?
I don't even know if I would say that constitutes a real indoor shopping mall.
I'll make the argument that it was.
It's so small.
That there was a bookstore in there.
There was.
That's true.
Toadstool bookstore.
What else was in there?
I was nearby.
We can probably name all those.
It's
an
gone, though,
antique
now.
store. I was nearby and had to go to the bathroom, and I knew that they had them.
They have a public bathroom.
So I went to the bathroom and then went to the bookstore.
I remember
just to where I could, at least say, I came in to look. I might have wanted to buy a book.
Okay, so I have actually been to malls within the last decade since I've been up here in New England.
I had to go to one a few weeks ago because I had to go to a Best Buy when I ran out to service a Bitcoin vending machine.
Right.
Had to go get a keyboard and a mouse.
But did you actually go into the mall, or did you just go into the Best Buy entrance?
Maybe
if
Best went into the Best Buy entrance to the Best Buy, but the Best Buy was in the shopping mall.
That's maybe a better question is who's actually bought anything of significance from
At
an
a
indoor
mall?
mall in the last 20 years?
Nothing. No. Oh, 20 years? Okay, probably something within 20 years, but last 10
Define
years?
significance, because the keyboard
like
that I purchased,
a television
I really,
or
really needed
a vacuum
at the
cleaner
time.
or something, something, not like a drink. I mean,
right.
I don't know if I have in the last 20 years. I've been to a few indoor malls.
I've accompanied a couple of girlfriends to malls over the last decade to go like clothes shopping, but that wasn't significant.
Yeah, I'm not sure that counts.
I wouldn't say that's significant. So, toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE. Let's go to Darryl. He's in Austin, Texas, watching us on YouTube at cam.freetalklive.com. Hello, Darryl.
Yes, the thing about the malls is I was watching the show. It was Adam Ruins Everything. He talked about the origin of the mall was the guy came up with the idea that he brought to the shopping mall wasn't what you see, wasn't what we grew up with. What the guy who came up with was the stuff that's built in now, where you have like outdoor shopping with also like people living there, restaurants, shops, and actually condos or apartments for people living around. That's just propping up all over the country now, like here in Austin and in Virginia and other parts of the country.
Okay.
And so that's what's replacing the mall. Also, like here in Austin, I think there used to be like 5 or 6 malls. Now we're down to like 2.
Mm-hmm.
When I first moved here, there were 3, but the one that
What'd they do with the other ones? Did they tear them down and just put up something completely different?
The one I remember going to when I lived in Sunset Valley part of Austin for about a year. That one is torn down. I don't know what happened because I got torn down after I moved away from there when I was like 8. The one of the 3. When I got here, there were only 3 malls in Austin. I got back here in 2013. The one that's no longer a mall is actually a community college. They turned it into community college.
Okay.
They're either tearing down malls or they're turning them into like call centers, colleges, businesses, or something.
Interesting stuff. And I think that the community college idea, that makes sense, right? You need to have bathrooms, food court, the different little classrooms or whatever. That makes sense.
I mean, the building's already there. Might as well use it.
There you go. Darryl, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. So you had mentioned this mall here in little old Keene, New Hampshire, that Darryl and I were referring to as a mall. And you're so new to town, it really has never really been anything since you've lived here. I think you've been here, a year and a half?
No, I was there when it was Colony Mill. I've been in there.
Right, but there wasn't anything
what he's
there.
saying, there wasn't really anything there.
By the time you got here, the food court was completely dead. There was nothing there.
I think I was to the food court once. I don't know if there was that much there.
The Indian restaurant was in the food court for a while before relocating.
Yeah, but they've been in their new location for like a year at least. But anyway, the reason why it qualifies as a mall, in my opinion, is it's indoor air-conditioned shopping with public bathrooms that are accessible by all in the mall, and it had a food court. So when it was its mall thing, I wouldn't call it that these days. In fact, it's under construction now. It's going to be apartments, as you mentioned, Darryl. But but when I first moved here in 2006, it was actually pretty full. There was a GameStop in there. There were, anchor stores, like that Toadstool Bookshop was one of the anchor stores. So it had anchor stores. It was full of stores inside, and it was actually busy.
The when I think, Children's Museum also used to be inside that shopping mall.
When I think indoor mall, I think like big anchor stores like JCPenney or something, or Sears or
something that's definitely what you think of when you think of a mall. But
and like a couple of them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But as far as like, it met all the qualifications for being a mall, even though it's much smaller and didn't have Sears.
It's probably the smallest mall I've ever been into.
This is probably also the smallest town you've ever lived in.
No. The town I lived in back in New Jersey is just slightly bigger.
But that was a suburb of a larger metro where you.
It was exactly the same thing as.
I thought you lived like an hour away from New York City or something.
We were on the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We were as far away from as you could get.
So you were close to Philly.
There was no train station to get from where I was to the city. You'd have to take a bus or drive.
How far from Philadelphia were you?
Probably 45 minutes to an hour from both of
So
those
you were a suburb of Philadelphia.
I wouldn't say that. We were pretty far out there.
But how far from Philly?
He said 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
That's a suburb.
Well, okay, that's without any traffic, guys.
That's still a suburb.
Yeah, it's a little different than being in Keene, where you're, an hour and a half away from any kind of metropolitan area whatsoever.
It's basically the same distance between, I would say, Nashua and Manchester.
Yeah, but here we're a little city in the middle of the woods. There's not like another big city nearby. Boston's 2 hours away.
Flemington was, this is true, but Flemington was basically
You might not want
similar.
to acknowledge that you were a suburb of Philadelphia, but you were a suburb of Philadelphia.
We'll have to check. We'll have to look at a map.
You'll have to look at it. It's so in terms of population size for the county, it was like 100-something thousand versus like 80,000 for Keene.
Yep, that's not very big.
It was like 30,000 people versus 25,000 people. It's not that much different.
But again, suburb of Philadelphia versus 2 hours away from Boston.
No, Flemington was the center of the area.
Was it?
Yeah, it's just like Keene.
All right, we'll take your word for it. Anyway, going on here regarding stores that are no longer with us, Radio Shack filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2015. I guess they still exist, but they probably don't have a fraction of the stores that they used to.
Well, 1 out of 100 is still technically a fraction. I don't know if that's how many, but there's not many at all.
Or Payless, the shoe store that announced its bankruptcy this year. There's trouble at The Gap, Banana Republic, Gymboree, Michael Kors, Ann Taylor, and so on and so on. This is a story from Fox News.
And then not mentioned there, Sears and Kmart closing a bunch more stores.
Yep. Yeah, they mentioned Sears earlier, but in fact, with thousands of stores closing, 2017 looks to be bleaker for brick-and-mortar retailers than the crash of 2008. The author says, I live in Los Angeles, a mecca for malls, and I can see the collapse happening before my eyes. My favorite mall is the West Side Pavilion, where Tom Petty shot his video Free Fallin'. Petty left us this year, and I wonder if the West Side Pavilion won't be following him. Not that long ago, when the mall's Barnes & Noble closed, I thought there might be trouble. But that was nothing. This year, one of its anchor stores, Nordstrom, relocated, and its other anchor, Macy's, will be closing in 2018. Hundreds of malls are expected to shutter in the next few years. This would have been unimaginable in my childhood when malls were being built, not abandoned. But in fact, there's been no major construction on a new mall since 2006. Some aren't giving up trying to cater to modern shoppers. That means a livelier atmosphere, more stylish layout, increased activities, better food, whatever they can come up with. It could also mean more Apple stores or Amazon bookstores. They actually have that? Amazon bookstores?
That's becoming a thing.
855-450 free like freedom 855-450-3733. You can join us here. The death of the mall. You're welcome to comment on Free Talk Live.
From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today, the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels, or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
How did you become addicted? A friend? Were you at a party and someone said, "Hey, try this"? Then you got the cold sweats and started shaking. And the more you did it, the more it didn't work. So you switched to the needle. Now you're a train wreck. Drinking, drugging, broke. Your family hates you. And you hate you. Get out of your hell on earth now. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline today for immediate help. In many cases, your insurance may cover the costs. We can't guarantee it, but we can guarantee we have what you need to change your life for the better. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. 855-700-2979. That's 855-700-2979.
Medical experts announce that an Ebola vaccine is at least 50 white people away from being developed. The CIA is now ready to install a female world leader, and a sex toy is discreetly shipped in a plain dildo-shaped box. Rising to the top of the video news summary game through an unstoppable combination of glad-handing and payoffs, this is the Onion Week in Review. Reflecting on his accomplishments and questioning his current abilities, the Lord God Almighty, our Heavenly Father and Blessed Savior, told reporters that he was no longer confident whether he would be able to create the world in only 7 days. He who commanded light to shine from the darkness admitted that the mere thought of producing the entirety of the universe from nothingness, a task he once completed with time to spare, had become surprisingly daunting, and added that creating a small, lifeless moon or asteroid now seemed like a more realistic goal. In this week's science news, psychology comes to a halt as weary researchers say the mind cannot possibly study itself.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
There's no better app for tracking the value of cryptocurrencies than CoinCap. I've had a lot of apps for tracking Bitcoin, but none that's ever been able to track 500 digital assets at once. Their best feature is the Altfolio. I love this thing. You enter how many Bitcoins, Ether, Dash, Doge, or whatever else you have, and it tells you how much your crypto is worth. You can watch yourself get rich. If you have crypto, go right now to coincap.io, or you can use the Apple Store or Google Play to get the app. I love CoinCap. coincap.io.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free here, the Black Friday edition of Free Talk Live, where you can, as always, take control of the airwaves. But we've been mostly talking about Black Friday here tonight because it's a fascinating study in human behavior. And looking at the marketplace is always interesting in how people react and what they do We're talking about the death of malls, this sort of slow-motion failure over a couple of decades that has resulted in lots of closures of these, what had previously been very popular shopping institutions where people spent a lot of their free time back when we were growing up on this show. Now, not so much. If you want to join the conversation, you can do that. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Fox News opinion piece saying, is this Black Friday going to mark the death of the shopping mall? I mean, when do you decide that the malls have died? I mean, they basically are in the process of dying, and there's not going to be any one point at which, it's just each individual mall. At which point will it fail? Or at which point will it change its business model drastically enough to be able to survive? In some cases, they have knocked down some of the walls. They've turned them into shopping centers, as you were talking about, the outdoor style. In some cases, they've just raised the buildings completely and replaced it with something completely different.
Converted them to other uses.
Like
the
schools.
one guy said community college. I think there's also been
apartments.
Converting, the apartments, but also I think some have been converted into like office space sort of stuff.
If malls, says here from FoxNews.com, I wish these malls luck. He's talking about the ones that are trying desperately to stay relevant. But the future looks grim. Kids don't hang out at malls like they used to. They hang out on social media. Of course, in some ways, this is an appropriate revenge. Malls grew with the car culture as Americans moved to the suburbs. This led to the decline of the beloved town square. And look at Sears, which is in serious trouble. More than a century ago, before moving into department stores, Sears made its money through its famed mail-order catalog, the Amazon.
They were the internet before the internet.
Right. The Amazon of its day. What goes around comes around. If malls do disappear, I'll miss them, he says. They've been a part of my life for so long, or as long as I can remember. But I have to believe that people don't just want to stare at a screen. People want to go out and have human contact. As long as that's true, someone will figure out a way to give the public what it wants, which wasn't really the reason people went to malls in the first place. You generally would go to a mall because you wanted to go shopping, not because you wanted to go and have human contact. Kids did it because they didn't have anywhere else to hang out. The mall was air-conditioned.
Very true.
And, they could go there. It's either like be productive and play sports or whatever, or go hang out at the mall. But it is interesting watching how things change. Jerry is on the line with us, listening to WVTS there in Charleston, West Virginia. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Welcome, sir. You're on the air.
Okay, thanks. We have a special situation here in Charleston. We built our mall in, I believe, in 1981-82, when people were still civilized. We had the largest urban mall east of the Mississippi for many, many years. Most malls are not built smack in the middle of the city. Ours was.
All right.
It survived pretty well for probably 10, 15 years. Once the internet came along, I myself and many of my friends started buying from Amazon going back 10 years or more. I got a readout from Amazon a couple of months ago. I've spent over $32,000 with Amazon alone.
Wow.
That doesn't
That's
count.
Amazing.
And now wait a minute. That's over a 10-year period,
Yeah,
okay?
sure.
All right. Now, I've spent half of that on other websites.
Right.
I have not walked into a brick-and-mortar store in probably 15 years. I hate the crowds. I hate the hustle, the bustle, the pushing, the
Wait a minute,
shoving,
you haven't
the
walked
parking.
into a brick and mortar store, so you don't even go shopping at a grocery store, or
only for the absolute necessities like groceries.
So do you still go to Walmart to get toothpaste and deodorant? No.
No, I usually just get that at the grocery store.
Okay, the grocery store.
I seldom go to Walmart because it's so large.
Okay.
But here's our problem. Our mall right now is in default. There's a couple of big banks and a developer that are trying to figure out what to do because the mall is in bankruptcy.
It's over.
Now, like many are. Now, we have a special problem. Ours is an urban mall, which with urban malls, you have urban problems. And once people became uncivilized during the 90s with the screaming and yelling and so forth and all the things that were happening, people felt not safe going to the mall, especially because of the parking buildings, which cost money to this very day. park in.
Really?
Nobody wants to pay for parking.
No
And
kidding.
women
That used to be the reason why you go to the mall, is because you didn't have to park and you didn't have to pay to park. The mall, at least the suburban malls, had plenty of parking.
Even the malls that were in Birmingham, Alabama, where I grew up, you didn't have to pay to park.
But you're saying that because it was urban, it was pay to park because parking's at a premium in an urban zone.
Well, that's exactly right. We have a city that's between two hills. We have very little flat land, very little space. And so they had to build these massive parking buildings, of which they're still paying for to this day. Women are afraid to park in it.
Because it's dangerous, because you might get robbed?
Oh, yeah, and people have been robbed.
Yeah.
And there's been shootouts, and there's been all kinds of things. Now, it's still a beautiful mall. It's still nice. Old people like to walk in the mall before the stores open.
They sure do.
Yeah, but I don't see this mall lasting another year or more because of online. All of us are now shopping online, except for women. Women will always love to touch and feel things in a store. And
I don't know, man. I mean, I see what you're saying.
I still buy my clothes in the real world.
Yeah, but I mean, I get what you're saying, but ultimately, women are the primary shoppers and the purse strings holders when it comes to families. So if women are shopping online, and they are, then that's what's hurting the malls. I mean, the women were the primary target demographic, it would seem to me, of these shopping malls.
Well, let me say this. We have a area outside of our town that sprung up about 15 years ago, which again took away from the mall. Free parking, you know, you've got your Walmarts and your Targets and all the normal big box stores. I can guarantee you that probably 75% of every car that parks there has got a female getting in or out of it, because they love to go in and touch the clothes and try the clothes on and this and that. And that's one of the problems.
I like to be able to try clothes on. I'm not a woman.
You're getting in touch with your feminine side, Darryl.
No, I like knowing that the clothes are actually going to fit.
Yeah, you got to try on clothes. I mean, come on.
That's one of the few problems with the internet. You cannot try on clothes.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Clothing is definitely one of the main things to keep people around.
Right.
Local.
It does pay to go to a store to purchase your clothes.
And maybe you also want to use cash instead of, putting something on a credit or debit card.
Nobody wants to use cash anymore.
I do.
I do.
I don't.
Hey, Jerry, thanks for the call.
I do. I do, but I pay it off every month.
Jerry,
okay?
I want to thank you for the call. Thanks for telling us about your mall situation there. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here tonight, 855-450, free like freedom. Sarah, you were calling in tonight about bicycle lanes, but come on, tell us about your Black Friday shopping experience.
Oh, you know what? I found a bicycle lane that was painted green with 4-foot poles on the outside on the right-hand turn lane. So when the cars pull in to hit a bicycle while they're turning a right, it keeps them out of that 5-foot off.
They just added these in Keene, didn't they? There are these bicycle zones.
Big, giant green bike lanes.
Yeah, they're the dumbest
And no, they're
thing.
not designed to help the drivers run over bicyclists.
No, she said they're trying to stop the drivers.
No, she said it's there so that the drivers know where to run over the bicyclist.
Well, the thing is, it's put right before the intersection ends on the right-hand turn lane, and it was only 5 feet to keep the cars off. When they're turning a right, they just pull right in and hit anybody.
Hold on, are you saying that these bicycle lanes are supposed to keep the cars out of the bicycle area, or that they're supposed to help the cars hit the bicyclists?
Well, the whole thing is to keep them out because they don't.
That's what I told you, Darryl.
Okay.
She's in favor of these bicycle lanes because she believes that the cars are not going to stop over top of the bicycle lanes.
Even though the bicycle lane's in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, but it comes first, right? So the bicycle lane is the 5 feet first portion of the area in which cars stop prior to the light. At least that's the way it is here in
the way I'm thinking, because up Main Street, they've got the green lane through the middle of the driving lane,
there's
which is
that
what I thought
too.
she was talking about.
She was talking about when you're
allows them
stopped.
to help them run over bicyclists.
Sarah, thanks for the call tonight. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's like If there's a bicyclist there, then you just don't run them over.
Well,
You
now
respect
I know.
them.
Now I know what to do with that lane. Run them over.
We'll see you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, you can join us over at freetalklive.com and enjoy your shopping if that's what you're doing this weekend.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
The Torchwood Report is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, November 24th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.14 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,293 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.8 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,072. Antiwar.com reports, despite promising earlier this week that they would lift the blockade on northern Yemen at noon on Thursday, the time came and went, and UN and other humanitarian aid ships continued to be prevented from accessing the port of Hodeidah. Northern Yemen is facing calamitous shortages related to the Saudi blockade, with many dying in recent weeks from the lack of medicine, thousands dying from a cholera epidemic that is among the worst in human history, and warnings that millions will soon be going from malnutrition to outright famine. Despite having made a very public point of their plan to ease the blockade, at least as it relates to certain humanitarian ships, the Saudis have made no comment since then, and it's puzzling why they announced it at all if they did not intend to allow the ships in. Though the Saudis had in recent weeks blockaded all ports across Yemen, they've already allowed the reopening of certain loyal ports in the south. Hodeidah is the lone rebel port, however, and the only way to get humanitarian aid into the entire northern half of the country, since Saudi warplanes damaged the Sana'a airport a few days ago. Aid groups and the UN are deeply critical of the ongoing blockade, warning that millions of lives are potentially at stake. So far, there is no sign that's going to make any difference to the blockading states.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports California Governor Jerry Brown has pardoned a man in prison for 39 years for 2 murders he did not commit. Brown signed the pardon Wednesday, the same day 70-year-old Craig Coley walked out of the state prison in Lancaster. Brown said in a statement announcing the pardon that Coley pursued religion and stayed away from gangs and violence. Brown said in the statement, "The grace with which Mr. Coley has endured his lengthy and unjust incarceration is extraordinary." Coley maintained that he did not kill Rhonda Wicht, whom he had previously had a relationship with, and her 4-year-old son at her apartment in Simi Valley, California in 1978. She was found beaten and strangled, apparently, and her son Daniel was smothered. Coley was son of a retired Los Angeles policeman who had dated her for nearly 2 years and worked as a night manager at a restaurant. Coley's first trial ended with a hung jury in 1979. He was found guilty in a retrial the next year and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On appeal, his conviction was affirmed. On Monday, Ventura County District Attorney Gregory Toten and the Simi Valley Police Chief David Livingstone announced that they were supporting a clemency appeal by Coley. They said new DNA tests conducted during a year-long investigation supported a finding of factual innocence. Toten and Livingstone wrote, "This case is tragic. An innocent woman and small child were murdered. Craig Coley spent 39 years in custody for a crime he did not commit." Brown asked the Board of Parole Hearings to conduct an investigation in 2015 after Coley sought clemency. In the investigation, police officials said they doubted Coley's guilt and they believed he was framed or that evidence was mishandled. Livingstone then opened an investigation in October 2016. DNA samples that supposedly were lost or discarded were found in a private laboratory. In new testing, DNA on a key piece of evidence matched the DNA of other individuals. Toten said at a news conference, "As district attorney, I must tell you I look forward to the day when I can shake Mr. Coley's hand, apologize to him for the injustice he suffered. I am also hopeful that one day soon we will bring to justice the violent man responsible for this most horrific crime." The case has been reopened. Coley may apply to receive compensation of $140 for every day he spent behind bars, which works out to approximately $1.9 million.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Everyone needs to get a justice shed. So you have a place to throw that little juvenile delinquent you caught loitering out on the street corner. This is not rocket science, people. I just call up my neighbors, Frank and Terry. We get out there with baseball bats, fishing nets, and we knock that suspect out. And we toss him in our justice shed. We just start dealing out some shovel beatings. That's democracy, people. That's the biggest benefit of the justice shed, people. You are in charge.
Our justice shed was all filled up, so we created this justice cage. It's just as good. These guys, I think we caught them shoplifting, and this is my daughter's boyfriend.
Look, if you don't have a yard big enough to place a justice shed in, go out and get yourself a justice barrel. I don't care. The important thing is to take control of your safety by any means necessary.
This is the Onion News Network.
be, which means that people can get a little crazy, get a little overexcited for the deal of the century, or at least the deal of the moment.
And BlackFridayDeathCount.com is reporting only 2 injuries this year so far.
That's really good news. Like, I was pleasantly surprised to see that there's very, very little in the way of, actual video of brawls, which normally there's probably like 5.
So one person was being treated for injuries after that brawl in Alabama, and then someone in Colombia, not sure which state because there are several Colombias, trying to open up the article, and it's not opening, but ABC 17 News. So wherever that is.
According to KTRK in Houston, 2 people were injured in a shooting and a stabbing outside of Willowbrook Mall today. According to the police, 1 male was stabbed, another shot. The 2 men were involved in some kind of confrontation. It doesn't appear that there's video of that one. But this is something that has been going on for a long time. I wonder when this first started. Was there a certain time... when people started to fight?
BlackFridayDeathCount.com goes back to 2006. 10 people injured in Southern California Black Friday Mall Stampede, and one person injured in Salt Lake in 2006. 2008, one worker died at a Long Island Walmart after being trampled. That's one horrible. That I'm sure you saw the video of, where the person gets knocked over and nobody stops. Yep. They just all keep moving forward.
I don't understand how...
Trample.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to even imagine how somebody could be so oblivious. And obviously the entire crowd was. It must be some kind of...
herd mentality.
Herd mentality of all they're doing is looking forward, just trying to focus on the deal. They're there to get the PlayStation 4.
But it's also one of those things of, if you're getting pushed from the back, unless you move forward, you're falling over as well.
Yeah, and if everybody's packed in that tightly, maybe you can't even see the floor.
Right.
So then it's just you're stepping forward.
Oh,
and you have no
stepped
idea.
on something that didn't feel like floor.
Right, you just crushed a human being. Because you wanted the Pyrex 28-piece set.
Yeah.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We got some numbers, some initial results. We'll get into that coming up here in moments. But there's an interesting piece here at the Daily Dot. Headline, "It's time to stop gawking at viral Black Friday brawls." Written this year by Samantha Grasso. She says, "I can remember as a child, maybe in middle school, sitting at the table and listening to my relatives talk about vicious Black Friday brawls and stampedes they had seen or heard about on the news. Their sentiments were shared by media commentators who argued these fights contradicted everything that Thanksgiving represented and were un-American. Black Friday denouncers argued that the people who partook in the shopping event were selfish, choosing to spend time and money on a commercialized holiday rather than with their families." Now, wait a minute. I see whole families going to Black Friday deals, so this is definitely a family event. I mean, certainly if you're going to get something secretive for one of your family members, obviously you don't want that person with you, but there's definitely groups and families that go to this.
The Friday after Thanksgiving is not the holiday. The holiday was Thursday.
Well, now let's be clear. There were plenty of there are more places that are open on Thursday now than there were, say, a decade ago.
Right, but that's not a Black Friday shopping event.
Is.
That's
Let
a
me
Black
get you
Thursday shopping event.
No, I'm sorry, but
this is a brawl right here in the studio.
Nope, I've got the Walmart advertisement
Words
here, Darryl.
mean things.
I agree
Ian.
with you.
Friday and Thursday, different days.
This is marketing. It doesn't know. They redefine things here. What does this say to you? Right on the front page of the Walmart circular that came out on Wednesday this week.
Black Friday begins Thursday at 6 p.m. Whoever wrote this is an idiot, needs to have a lobotomy, and should never work again in marketing, because Thursday and Friday, different days.
Well, at Thursday at 6 p.m., it is technically Friday somewhere in the world. Just not in
Thursday
that
at
time
1
zone.
a.m. because of the weird international dateline thing. It might be Friday somewhere.
Look, I agree with you. It's ridiculous to call Black Friday Thursday or Thursday Black Friday, but regardless, that's what's happening, and the madness is the same. It's just starting, 12 hours earlier. It used to be that I used to work in retail when I was in Florida.
Yeah, it used to be like 6 o'clock on Friday morning.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. They'd throw the doors open. There'd be a huge line out front, and that's when things could get a little bit crazy.
And then a few years ago, and again, I don't remember exactly when, but some of the stores, we're opening up at midnight.
That's right.
Start the Black Friday as soon as Friday begins.
Yep.
Midnight. And then roll
And
it
now it's
back,
6
roll
p.m.
it back, roll it back.
On Thursday.
Pretty soon, Black Friday is going to start on Tuesday.
And Walmart.
And some idiot is still going to call it Black Friday.
Well, and Walmart was, let's see, last year. Yeah, I think they also started it Thursday last year. I don't remember what year they began doing that, but yesterday they opened before 6 p.m. as well. So I'm not sure what time in the morning they opened, but it might have been regular opening time because I figured they would be closed until 6, but no, they were actually open, as I understand it. I didn't actually go and see it for myself.
I was there on Thursday.
That's right. You're the one who told me that.
Yeah, they were definitely. It was sometime in the afternoon they were open.
No, I drove by sometime in the afternoon as well, just kind of eyeball the parking lot. I think I drove by at like 5 o'clock because I wanted to see if there was a line of people waiting out front. There was not, and that's because it's open, and they've come up with systems to like hand out coupons to people to kind of let them claim the thing that they want. The things that they're expecting are going to go fast. So, the $200 PlayStation 4 or whatever the phone is that's on the front of the TV for $100, the like 39-inch TV for $125 or whatever. These things, they're going to go. They're lost leaders.
Right.
They're selling them at
things
below
that are
cost.
too good to be true.
Yeah, they're selling them at below cost in the hopes that they can get people to come in the doors and then buy other things.
While I'm here, might as well buy this junk.
Get your toothpaste or whatever it is you need. So they hand out these coupons so there's not a mad rush for like the pallet full of TVs where people are grabbing and throwing.
Right.
So they kind of have security around the TV area or whatever it is that people are expected to go crazy over, and then you just have to present your ticket to the security agent in order to receive the TV. So they've come up with ways to put people in circumstances that lessen the propensity for violence. And so maybe some of those techniques are actually working. We're seeing fewer incidents this year, according to you, Darryl. You found a rundown on the internet so far, and I couldn't find very much when I was looking earlier.
Yeah, and when I was doing searches earlier for Black Friday top headlines, I was expecting to see brawl here, people injured, and all I was coming up with were numbers on how much more people are spending online.
We'll get into that coming up here, but is it time, as the Daily Dot argues, to stop gawking at viral Black Friday brawls? The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, but why? What's the difference between this and, say, watching wrestling, which is something that you do on a regular basis? More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Hey guys, Mark Claire.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Are you tired of hearing things like this on the radio and television?
I've read the Quran, the Hadiths, the Surahs. 90% of it is violence.
Terrorism, Islamic terrorism, ISIS, Islamic terrorism.
I would even submit to you that Islam's not even a religion. It's a social, political system that uses a deity to advance its agenda of global conquest.
Wouldn't you much rather hear things like this?
And Muslims traditionally were very libertarian in their approach.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, says even at times of war, you don't break a tree, you don't destroy buildings, you don't kill women and children, you don't kill the aged and the elderly.
What's called income tax in classical Islam is definitely prohibited.
Muslims are very wary of any scholar who associates closely with the government, and they always have been.
Join Will Coley and his rotating cast of scholars on Call to Freedom every Sunday night from 10 p.m. to midnight on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month?